everyone, welcome back. It's Rachel with Living the Journal Life, and this week we're going to be doing something new. This is the first week of my no kit week in all of my planners, so I've pulled out some leftovers. We're going to get a little creative. I didn't call this like a leftovers week because I didn't necessarily want to limit myself. Some weeks I might just want to use a pen and washi, and I thought this would be a fun experiment for 2024. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, and we'll kind of have to learn throughout the year how to film this and how to share this. But what we're going to do this week is we're going to set up all of my planners using various leftovers and goodies that I wanted to use, and then I will update you throughout the week as I can. And so I'll have at least my normal 3 videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video every day or if I'm just going to update you guys every few days, but we're going to see. So I'm using Hobonichi cousin sized headers that were leftovers from who even knows when anymore, because I put my leftovers in a leftovers book and I don't necessarily keep the original sheet that tells me what the days were. So I'm just using these in my A6. This is the day free that I use for work. It's my brand new A free. I used the same one last year, but we're trying, new layouts, new spreads, new everything for this year. And this is the first week that I'm going to start working on all of my goals, which means I'm going to try and make sure that I get my word count every single day. And that's what these quarter boxes are going to be for, is to write down my word count every day. I did not do that the first week of January, but I don't really put any sort of pressure on myself for goals for the first week of January. So I wasn't really expecting that. And I had to move Sunday because it was at a really awkward space because I just sort of randomly chose. I don't do much work on Saturday and Sunday usually, so I just wanted to have a little space in case I do something else, and then if I don't, just the word count. Sundays I am so lazy that there's definitely the only thing I'm going to do is get that word count in. And so yeah, that should be good. And then I wanted a habit tracker and a list, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do underneath those days, but we'll see how this layout works out. I'm kind of excited for it. I think it should be pretty fun, and I will let you guys know how it worked out. I won't show you guys after the pen of this one because it's work, and I try and keep the after the pen of those ones sort of private. But maybe I'll work with it and use some sort of, I don't know, system so that I can show you guys. And this is what the leftovers that I picked out for my Hobonichi cousin. I sort of decided to make a kit out of leftovers because I have so many leftovers. So I picked out habit trackers and bottom washi and checklists and weekly trackers and these cute little typewriters, and then a bunch of just random leftover snowy, wintry pull boxes. So I wasn't trying to go for super matchy. I was just trying to stay in that pink purpley family, which is very easy with Sweet Kawaii Design. She definitely likes to use a lot of similar colors throughout the years, so my leftovers can kind of go together. I figure as the year goes on and my leftovers dwindle, I'll have to get more creative, but for this first week when I'm trying to figure out how to film and how to set everything up, I thought I'd be a little easy on myself and just make essentially a kit out of leftovers. I have a friend on Instagram that I will try and do below. She is amazing at like meshing different styles together. She's on the Itty Bitty Sticker Co. PR team with me, and she is just amazing at like meshing different styles and different stickers together. So I will definitely link her Instagram below so that you guys can check her out if you kind of want to use your leftovers. She's amazing for inspo for me. So we're just going to set this up as normal, but I'm not going to set as much of it up as I normally do. Mostly it's just going to be the bones so that I can start, because this is the first week where I start trying to ease into tracking my habits and my goals for the year. A lot of times the kind of frantic energy that the people that really want to change everything about themselves, it starts to die down. It doesn't really go away until February, but it dies down enough that my anxiety I can actually get back on social media and my anxiety won't be too out of control. My anxiety is pretty bad right now just because of physical health stuff. So I have to be very guarding of my mental health. I can't have both of them kind of falling apart at the same time. Because that's just too much to handle, and then you just don't get out of bed. So I have to be kind of greedy with my mental space and what I give my energy to for the next couple of weeks, just because. So because my anxiety is a little bit out of control, I'm definitely going to need checklists every day. I go to my monthly page, I go to my goals, I write down all the stuff I need to, and then from there it gets transferred to my daily page, which is very redundant, and I'm sure most people don't need that. But for my brain, my anxiety goes, oh yes, it's written down multiple places, I'm not going to forget it, and it'll be okay. I'm sure if your brain doesn't work like mine, you're like, oh my gosh, why are you writing down things so many times? But that's just how I deal with some of my mental health issues. And we're hopefully going to get some snow in Seattle this week, which would be, we had the warmest December on record. So I'm looking forward to some actual winter temperatures. My cats are starting to grow in their spring coat. They're already shedding their winter coat. And I'm like, no, it's too soon. Just give me a couple days of snow. I have stuff to get. I have medical appointments this week and next week for me and my mom. So I'm hoping not too much snow. I'm hoping it's just the snow that you get to watch falling down, but it doesn't stick or anything. If you've never been to the Pacific Northwest or lived in the Pacific Northwest, cities like Seattle and Portland, because I've lived in both, are they kind of shut down if there's any amount of snow because we're not prepared for snow. I've lived on the East Coast, and it would be laughable to shut down for a few inches of snow. But here, the few inches of snow starts to melt immediately, and then it's cold enough that it refreezes and it turns into ice. And we don't have enough snowplows, so only the very major streets get snowplowed, and we don't have salting, so none of the roads are salted except for the highways and the very, very main bus routes. So if you need to get somewhere, that's what I do. I have to hike out of my icy neighborhood and get to the bus stop because driving in this is just, you just stay home. It's just much, much easier if you stay home. So if there's going to be snow in the forecast, I like to make sure that I get groceries and prepared and firewood because we live up on a hill and we like to lose power when pretty much anything happens. And there's so many trees and beautiful things here that when there's snow, tree limbs break and we lose power, and it's not that big of a deal. Except that it's going to get into the teens, so I want to be prepared and make sure that I have enough warm, cozy firewood so that if we have to lose power, we're not freezing our butts off here. We do have lots of quilts and we have emergency blankets and all that stuff, but I just like to be a little prepared, kind of like I would prepare for a nor'easter on the East Coast or a blizzard is how we prepare for an inch of snow here. So here is the kind of basics of my week, and then I go back to my monthly pages and I fill in what I can. So I just say, okay, I know my new budget starts on Monday, so I need to definitely check in with my budget, pay bills, stuff like that. Trash day, gathering up the trash. I always change the cat litter on trash day, things like that. So it's just a way for my anxiety to organize the information. And then from here, when I set up my daily pages, you'll see I'll flip back to my weekly pages and see what I need to put on there. So it's just a way for me to sort of filter the information and nothing gets lost, and I can just sort of know that it's written down, and as long as I check in with my pages, things don't fall through the cracks. I know that this is really redundant for some people, and actually for me, when I'm not under so much stress, it's actually way too redundant for me, and I get rid of the checklist on the weekly pages, and that's just me. So here we are on the daily pages, and I'm just going to use some washi and some large deco. This is from Pinnacle Sticker Co., and it's actually on kind of a washi paper, which is super fun. And this washi was giving me, I don't know, trouble. It's very sticky, as is good, so it'll last many years, but it was trying to stick to everything. So the washi is from Simply Gilded. It is the Alaska Passport washi, and I just thought it would be really fun to start off our possibly snowy week. You can never tell because sometimes snow is in the forecast, and then by the time that day rolls around, it goes, oh no, because there has to be a perfect amount of actual cool moisture and coming down from Canada and the actual moist air from the south mixing to give us snow. So we don't get it very often. And I'm not holding my breath, but either way, this is a nice wintry color scheme, and we're definitely going to get some cooler temperatures if nothing else. So this should be a really fun way to start the week. And I just did some fun mild liners, and I didn't do it on camera, but you'll see when I do a check-in later that I want to outline these. Just makes the words pop a little bit, and makes them look a little bit more intentionally wonky. I don't like to take too much time with them. I like to just do it real quick, and then I put a little outline and it makes it look a bit more fancy. And then I have so many dot markers that I was trying to find the perfect shade of purple, and I didn't. There is no one that matches that mild liner perfectly, and I just sort of went with the darker one because I feel like it goes with those potion bottles pretty well. Yeah. I could have gone with a blue, I guess, to go with all those potion cabinets, but I kind of leaned into the darker two on these pages. So how I set up my daily pages, because this is me doing it before the day starts, I just sort of brain dump everything that I need to remember for that day so that I can relax on the day that I'm currently in. So I need to make sure I get my writing done. I clean something every single day. I need to call my nephrologist. I need to get some laundry done, definitely. The budget. Nothing too really exciting. It's mostly the stuff that I wrote on my weekly pages, but sort of made into more tasks, like meal planning is one task and then getting the grocery list is another task. And I sort of break it down into smaller tasks, and then I check my habit trackers and make sure that my habits are going to get on my to-do list too. And I'm a little bit behind in my 5-year journal, so I want to make sure by Monday I get caught up. So this is sort of how I'm going to do the pre-plan for this new using up what I got. And I think this will evolve over time as my supplies change and dwindle, and we'll kind of get a little bit more creative. But for right now, I'm kind of sticking to what I know. And I wanted to show you all of my setups. So this is my health setup. It is an Avalon and 9th B6, and I've got just some leftover stickers from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. and some leftover headers from Sweet Kawaii Design. And I do have a few times where I just rip up the paper. I've never really liked this paper. It's just hard for me to work with. Everything bleeds through. Stickers rip it. Washi rips it. It's just really hard for me to work with. I couldn't even look at a fountain pen near it. The zig dot colors bleed through it. It's not my favorite. I love this layout is my problem. But the paper is annoying me so much this year. I don't know if it actually got changed or something, but it is annoying me so badly this year that I might actually just switch away from Avalon and 9th paper next year. I love the product layout. I love the person who makes it. She's amazing. I love the community of the people that buy her stickers and her products. Everything about the company is awesome, but this paper, I sort of, every time I play with it or write something or I put down a sticker and have to pull it up, it rips, and every dot marker bleeds through it, and I'm just sort of even more disenchanted than I was last year with the paper. So I probably will stick with it this year because I'm the sort of person that's like, I bought the thing and I'm going to use the thing. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to find that balance between not being overly consumery, but also making sure that things that I use, the tools that I use, are good for me, because I stuck with the Wonton in a Million planner last year longer than I should have. And it was actually, I was not enjoying it to the point where I stopped using my health planner and I stopped tracking some health stuff. And I went to a doctor's appointment and they asked me something and I didn't have the data to answer their question. So there's no point in having a health planner if I don't use it. And the problem with the Wonton in a Million one was also the paper was very hard for me to use, but it was a flat, like lay flat binding, and I need something that just can sit open on my desk so that I can scribble things as I walk by and not have to worry about it taking up too much real estate. And so that's what was annoying me most about the Wonton in a Million one, because I'd have it closed and then I would just never think to open it throughout the day. I don't know why. That's a fault with me. It had nothing to do really with the planner. It's just I wasn't opening it, and then I'd go back and I'd be like, oh, what did I do 3 days ago? I can't remember. This sort of thing, you really need to check in with it. So anyway, this planner is okay for now. And I only had 4 of these winter critters boxes, and I was gonna go halvesies with the jumbo deco because there's 3 pieces of big jumbo deco, but I really hated it when I put that cup next to it. So I decided to split the jumbo deco on Saturday and Sunday and then use the boxes with the 1 cookie jumbo deco because it was smaller and it was, I don't know, I think it looked a little bit better. So I like these 2 next to each other, and oh, ripping paper. I like these 2 next to each other on Saturday and Sunday. I think that gives it sort of a fun weekend vibes. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. And I just go through and do the dots in each section, and then I will fill them in. I haven't changed anything. The only thing I've added recently was tracking the amount of calories that I'm eating. And I do that in an app, and then I just put the deficit or over in my journal so that I can kind of see weight loss up and down, what's happening, sort of a deal. Yeah, so this is how we're going for the beginning of 2024. This might change. We'll see if the paper annoys me to the point where I don't use it, or if I can just get over it, because I have other pens besides fountain pens, and it's okay if you can see the dot markers from the previous page. Like, you know, we're dealing with it for now. But if I stop using this, then I will probably destash it, take out the pages I've used, destash it, and get something else that's more fountain pen friendly or something. We'll see what happens, but for right now, this is good. And this washi is also from Itty Bitty Sticker Co., and it's got all the wintry kind of festival vibes, and none of it matches perfectly, but this is a no kit week, so nothing is going to match perfectly anywhere. I think I did a little bit better in my Hobonichi of meshing the styles. This one is a little bit more hodgepodge looking, but as it's all adorable, it doesn't make me mad. I'm not going to kick it out of bed for eating crackers. I like it. So yeah, that's how we're going. And I'm just going to flip through this last week. I'm filling this on Sunday, so I don't have Sunday done, but you can see how last week turned out. And this is the first week in my 2024 Hobonichi cousin, and I'm very excited about it. I did a big Happy New Year for Monday because we really didn't do too much. And then this is the current Kawaii kit, which is the signups are open until January 10th. I'll link that down below as well because it's adorable. And then this is Sweet Beam Plans washi, and then Sweet Kawaii Designs stickers, and my new fountain pen ink that has such a good shimmer. Like this one has good, it's like a bluey green shimmer. And then more of the Kawaii kit. It's a Paris Cafe theme, and I'm a little bit obsessed, and I wanted to use it before I got to my no kit week. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you soon.